off your Wednesday. And start to bring your breath back onto your mat. Okay, begin to feel if anything needs to release here. Your feet hip-width distance. Coming into mountain pose, nice and tall. Palms are forward. And the breath is moving easily in and out. So we're upright, so it can go as much and as far as it wants all through the body. So start by smoothing and bringing yourself into your practice. And remember, as the new moon energy is still with us and the moon is starting to gather light. Oh, last night was incredible. Think about what it is that you want to bring into your life, right? Your intention. And let's use the energy of the new moon and tonight's practice to nourish those seeds. So give your seeds a little breath here. And now drawing energy up from the earth with the palms out, bring the arms up, touch your palms together, and exhale, bring your hands to your heart. And we're going to continue doing that. Inhale up, and hands to heart. And we'll add a little bit of balance here, arms up, and as your hands come to your heart, raise your right heel. Release, arms up. And hands to heart, left heel lifts. And bring it up, right heel. And up, and left heel. Now you might choose to start bringing up your knee in place of just the heel. See how that works for you. And you're going to go at your own pace. Maybe you notice that one side is more cooperative than the other. Maybe you're perfectly even already. Stay with your heel or your knee lifts. Oh, nice deep breath. And we started with the right, so whenever you come left again, you'll be even. And bring yourself back to mountain pose, feet hip-width distance, all four corners of the feet in good contact with the mat. Inhale and exhale. All right, so we're going to put the hands on the shoulders here and roll the elbows forward, up and back. So starting with releasing the shoulders. And we are taking the elbows back because most of the day we're forward, right? So we're doing this. And then we'll just do a few forward rolls. Don't need to do as many because our days are spent more in a forward position. And bring your arms down and shake them out. Okay, so now we're going to take the arms up by the ears, keep those feet planted, and start opening the side body, moving to the left. Find where it's right for you to stop right now. Come on back up. And gently to the right. And gently left. So feeling your way side to side. And when you're ready, you might take this a little deeper. Maybe you're just going to stay not so deep. You figure out what is best for you as you go side to side. We started over to the left. So the next time you're over to the left, stay here and make sure your right foot is still grounded. Inhale and exhale. And then come on up and take it over to the other side. I think I said right when I meant left. Make sure your left foot is still grounded here. Inhale, now we're going to let the knees and hips bend as we gently float down and up, releasing. Letting things release. All right, take it up, release the arms, shake things out, and grab your block. So we're going to do our twists with a block, and what the block is going to do is keep the knees from moving around, okay? So we don't want the knees knocking in toward each other or buckling out to the side. So just take your feet block width distance apart. The block is in between your thighs, okay? And elbows are bent, we're in goalpost arms. Now lift your ribs away from your hips. We're not hiking the shoulders up to the ears. We've just lifted the ribs away from the hips, goalpost arms. Inhale, gently twist to the right, keeping your hips facing forward. The block will help with that. Come back to center, inhale. Exhale, gently twist left. And come center. And we go back to the right. So is the block helping you maintain this bottom half of your body so that the upper half can twist? We're going to the left. We're going back over to the right. And center, left, and center. So that was warming up the body. Now we're going to turn to the right, lengthen through the spine, take the twist a little deeper perhaps, extend the arms and take your gaze towards your right fingertips. Your right hip is moving forward, your left hip is moving back, so the hips are kind of even in space. And on your next exhale, turn your gaze to your left fingertips. And on your next exhale, turn your gaze back to the right. And come center, goalpost arms. I know the arms are getting tired. Let's lift the ribs away from the hips here, twist to the left. Stay here, lift a little higher, maybe twist a little more, extend the arms, gaze to the left fingertips, yep. On your exhale, gaze to the right, and on your next exhale, gaze back to the left. And then come center, lift your arms, bring them down, shake them out, put that block off to the side, okay? All right, so that was a nice little bit of twisting with the block really helping keep the lower half of the body still so the twist can all come from the torso. Okay, so let's just move around in that for a moment, and we're going to start heading our way down. We'll start at the top of the mat. Remember, I told you we're going to be doing cats and cows on hands and knees, so make sure your knees are going to be comfortable. If that's not going to work for you, you can do everything we're doing with your hands on the wall or a chair. So feet hip width distance apart. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, swan dive. Take a half lift, shine your heart forward, sink your hips down, bring your hands to the mat, and step back into a downward facing dog. So coming into down dog here, inhale and exhale, and we're going to bend one knee and then the other. Press one heel down and hold, and switch sides, press the other heel down and hold, and press two heels down and hold. Now go ahead and bring your knees down. Let's come up off the hands for a moment, shake out the wrists. Make sure the wrists are happy. Make sure the knees are happy. Come into your tabletop. So your wrists could either be under the shoulders or the hands might be slightly forward. And we arch the back, shine the heart forward, and round the spine, gaze towards your lap. So cats and cows here on hands and knees. And remember, you could be at a chair or a wall doing this. All right, the next next time you're rounded into your cat, hold here. Come back to neutral spine, sit up and shake your hands out. So we'll be adding on to the cat and cow here, all right? So we're bringing the hands back down, tuck your toes, okay? Arch your back. Here we are in cow. Now as you round your spine into the cat, lift those knees a couple of inches off the mat. Bring your knees down, arch into cow, round into cat. Option here, lifting the knees. You could also point and flex your toes if that feels more natural to you. Pointing them as you come into cow and flexing them as you come up into the cat. And then pause, come up, shake out the hands. Good. Inhale and exhale. We're going to do one more thing with this. It's tabletop to cow, tucking toes, cat to downward facing dog. Knees down, cow, cat to down dog, knees down, cow, cat to down dog. And this time we bring the knees down, sit off to the side, and come into seated mountain pose. Shake out those arms. Move those wrists around and find a nice, strong seated mountain pose with the spine. Long inhale and exhale. All right, so usually, often, when we talk about intention, we also come into Dhyana Mudra, which helps us focus and concentrate. So turn your left palm up, rest your right palm on top of it, bring your thumbs to touch, arms are comfortable, spine is long, and just breathe. You can close your eyes if that's comfortable for you, or just defocus them. Think about what it is that you want to bring in. What seeds are you nurturing? And if you feel your mind start to wander, just press your thumbs toward each other to help bring your mind back to what you're doing. All right, and then shake things out. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and move into a little bit of forward folding here. Your feet are flexed, your spine is long, okay? Your arms are coming up, inhale. Exhale the arms out to the side. Now inhale as you lean back, drawing the heels of your hands together. Draw your palms to touch and point your index fingers forward, right? And then reach past your toes as you exhale. Inhale the arms up. Exhale down by your side. Inhale as you lean back, heels of the hands, interlace the fingers, press the index fingers past the legs. We're not folding down, we're going straight ahead. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms out to the side. Take it back. Interlace. Exhale, forward. Bring the arms up and release. And shake it out. Okay. All right, so now we're ready for some core work. Okay, we're going to build on our pose of the month, which is boat pose. We'll do boat pose with toe taps. All right, so sit nice and tall. Remember, on the chair, you're sitting way at the edge of your chair, right? And we're going to come into boat with the arms forward, core engaged, spine long. Starting with keeping the left foot on the mat, right leg up to tabletop, tap the right toes down and up, 4 times down and up, take it down and up, down and up. I think this is 4, it might be 5, but okay. And bring the right foot down and release up. Take it back. Your core is engaged. Even core challenge point here. and left knee up, we're tapping down, and up, 4 times, tap, and up, tap, and up, one more, tap, and up, and release. Shake it out, shake those legs out. Okay, so now we're going to do toe taps with both knees up, take it back. You can come back to this one knee up if you want. Of course, in the chair, you look just like this, except you're sitting in a chair, right? And we're going to take the right toes down and up. Now the left, down and up. Take it down and up, down and up. Right again and up, left and up, right and up and left and up. Whew, anybody feeling that yet? Don't worry, we're definitely going to release the hips too, because they really kick in when you're doing that. Okay, so you can do any one of those, right? Feet on the mat, alternating one leg at a time, okay? Or you can lean back, 2 knees up, and we're going to go down with the right, up with the left, down with the left, up with the right. Do you not see what we're doing? Yeah. Down and up. Well, this is the most fun one, I think, so we'll just do this a little longer. And 3, and 2, and 1. Oh, and bring it in. Okay. Who loves that? Okay, good. All right. So let's go ahead and do some, we'll do some knee sways here from sitting up. All right, so bring your hands behind you. Fingers are pointing towards your hips. And just let the knees sway to the right and sway to the left. Try and keep your torso steady and just let the body move from the lower body here. So we're swaying side to side. You can probably feel your obliques starting to work already. Now we're going to sway over to the right and extend the left leg, bring it in, sway over to the left, extend the right leg, bring it in and to the right, to the left. So the trick is, one of the tricks, keep your torso steady, to the left, to the right, to the left, one more each side, to the right, and to the left, and release, shake it out. All right, so come to cross leg. If you don't like being cross leg, you can do this with your legs straight. We're going to open the hips here, okay? So bring your hands to your heart, lean back, lift one foot and then the other. Remember, your toes could always be down on the mat too. We're gonna have the right ankle in front of the left here. Arms up, inhale, palms forward, and as you exhale, bring your legs down, long, long spine, bring your hands to the mat, gaze past your fingertips, feel that right hip. Take your arms up, feet up, left ankle in front of right, palms forward, long, long spine as you come down. So in the chair, you're crossing at the ankles and leaning into this hip release. Inhale up, cross at the ankles, and take it down. Inhale up, we're going left ankle in front of right, and take it down. Inhale up, right ankle in front of left. This time we're going to take it down and hold. So we've warmed up the hip, right? Your palms are flat on the mat. Press into the mat, shine your heart forward, gaze past your fingertips, inhale. And as you exhale, melt forward. Maybe those fingertips walk a little farther forward here. Breathe into your right hip. Now press into your hands, look up, Walk your hands 2 steps over to the right, gazing past your fingertips. Look up, inhale, exhale, melt over your right leg. You got a nice stretch going on in the left here, and then walk those right fingertips away. Walk your hands back to center. Inhale, look up, exhale, melt. Inhale and walk the hands 2 steps over to the left. There's that nice stretch in the right side body. Walk the left fingertips away. Come back to center. Inhale, exhale, melt. Say hello to your right hip. And then with long arms, draw your arms up. Bring your palms to touch. Hands to heart center, lean back, change the cross of your ankles, draw your arms up. Inhale, we'll do the same thing with the left ankle in front, palms are down, forward, and exhale your palms to the mat, to the earth. You're gazing past your fingertips so your spine is long, you're not rounded here. Press into the earth, look forward, exhale, melt. Inhale, press in and walk your hands 2 steps over to the left. Wiggle those left fingertips away to get some extra extension in the left side body. Yeah, so in a chair you would just be doing like this. And then walk your hands back to center, press in, and walk over to the right. Again, if you're in the chair, be doing something very similar. And walk your hands back to center, press your palms into the earth, look up, inhale, exhale, melt forward. Long arms, arms overhead, palms touch, hands come heart center, and shake everything out and release. All right, we got hips. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and come back to hands and knees, and we're going to work on strengthening the arms. So we're coming to hands and knees here. Okay. Take your arms way forward, come into knee down plank. Do your tricep push-up. Elbows are going back. You take it up and hips back. Knee down plank. You can also do this from a knee up plank if that suits you better tonight. And we go hips back. Push up, hips back, and do just one more, and then make your way to a child's pose. All right, so in the child's pose, you want your forehead to be connecting to the earth, right? And your head is at rest. And at this point, if your head is connected to the earth and you're not using your hands, go ahead and take your hands back by your feet and see how that feels for a change. If you're using your hands to support your head, then just stay there. And then find your way to a nice, long, downward facing dog. Landing in your dog, all 4 points of contact with the earth are even on the mat. So we're not rocking to one side or the other. We're not crushing into the hands. We're nice and even in the down dog. And then find any journey that you like, bringing your feet to your hands, whatever is right for you tonight. Feet to the hands. When you get there, bring your hands to your thighs, shine your heart forward for a half lift, Exhale, forward fold. And then float the arms out and up, palms touch. Nice. And hands come heart center. And release. Okay, so let's shake it out a little bit. And we're going to work on chair, and we're going to use the block again. So go ahead and grab your block. Chair, same idea. Okay, when we do chair, we don't want the knees to start doing this or this. So we put the block here, in between the thighs, square the feet onto the mat, set the hips back, and in chair the energy is more in your heels than your toes. Heart is lifted, and just take your elbows up to shoulder height. And then stand tall, bring your hands down, we're going back. Shoulder height, hips back, and up. And shoulder height, hips back, and up. Okay, let's take it shoulder height. Now start to gently raise your arms and be aware of what happens to your spine. Take your arms as high as you can with your spine long. As soon as you start to come into a different kind of spine, then you know you've gone too far with your arms. And from here, push through the feet up and bring your hands down. And let's do that one more time. Take it back, arms up. And release. Okay, we're going to put so that's a great strength builder for the legs. Put your block off to the side. Shake things out. Okay, and now try your chair without the block. Just imagine it's there and see what happens with your knees. Okay, so your feet are hip width distance apart, and you set your hips back. Lift the arms. Check out your knees. Stand tall and release down, and one more time. Chair. And shake it out. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead into our sun salutations. We're going to be having the knees down for a low crescent lunge because we want to work on the front hip flexor here. So make sure you have something to pad your knee if your surface or your knee requires that. Okay, so come on up to the top of the mat. Inhale, float the arms up. We're folding over those hip creases, nice long swan dive. Legs are straight, so the hands might stop high, medium, low. Come into your half lift. Sink the hips down. Take the hands to the mat. Step back, find your lunge. Now make sure that right foot is way back there. Bring the right knee down. That right knee is way behind the hip, as much behind the hip as it can be. Left knee over left ankle. Engage your core and lift up. Same thing with the spine that you were just working on in chair. We don't want to do this. And feel that front hip flexor just melting forward on the right. All right, let's bring the hands down and find your way to plank. Knees up or down. Find a good strong plank. And chaturanga down. All right, so now that we stretch that right hip flexor, we're going to come into bow on the right. So take your left forearm parallel to the front of your mat, bend your right leg, reach your right arm around, and look for your right ankle. If it's too far away, just wave to it. I spent at least a decade just waving to my ankle because I couldn't get it. Okay? So that's your yoga practice, right? Press your left forearm into the mat, shine your heart up, and just let that right hip flexor release. Half bow here. All right. We're going to take the hands under the shoulders and press back and up into downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Okay, now take your right leg up, point the toe, open the hip and bend the knee. Just open up here. Come back around and step forward with your right foot. Bring your, I'm going to switch so I'm on my actual right. Bring your left knee down and come into that low crescent lunge. This time the left knee is well behind the hip. The right knee is over the right ankle. We're in that low crescent lunge. Okay, let's release. Tuck your back toes. Lift that knee. Engage all of your muscles here. Body super strong. And take a big step forward. Half lift. Forward fold. And float the arms out and up, palms touch. And hands come heart center. And release. Okay, ready to do that on the other side? Mountain pose, top of the mat. Okay, inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, swan dive. Take your half lift. Now sinking the hips down, hands to the mat. Okay. And this time you step back with your left leg coming into that lunge. Inhale and exhale. And then we're going to bring that left knee down well behind. So if your knee is okay to come down, otherwise you'll stay like this if you're using the chair. And your crescent lunge can look like one hand on the chair and one arm up. Yep. All right, let's go ahead and bring the hands down and step back to a plank. Knees up or knee down plank, strong chaturanga down. If you feel yourself starting to wobble with your knees up, bring them down and finish strong. Okay, so now we'll be doing left side half bow. So this would be your right. Your right forearm is parallel to the top of the mat. Your left knee bends, and you look for your left thigh. Okay, at the chair, pretend the wall is the back of my chair. It's going to look like this. And remember, you could be waving towards your ankle if it doesn't get a good catch. Now release. All right, so that was a lot of back bending. And we're going to make a pillow with the hands, bend the knees, and let the legs move side to side. A nice little spinal release. And bring the feet down, hands under the shoulders, find your way to downward facing dog. All right. Okay, so in your dog, take your left leg up, open the hip, bend the knee, come back to center, take a big step forward. Okay. Did we come into low crescent lunge on the other side? Can't remember. Let's bring the back knee down and come into low crescent lunge here. All right, hands down, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, engage the whole body. All the muscles nice and super strong. And take a big step forward, half lift. Forward fold. Float the arms out and up, palms touch. Good, and hands come heart center. And release, shake it out. All right, so those front hip flexors should be feeling pretty good. Let's move the legs around a little bit. And move to the adductors. So we're going to take the legs wider than hip width distance, turning the toes out, okay? We'll start with the hands on the hips and knees over toes. So make sure your feet are grounded, all four corners of the feet. Knees are going over toes, maybe even a little wider. And let's add some arms. 5-pointed star, we come to moonflower. And up. And 5-pointed star to moonflower. And up. And take it down. And up. Now let's take it down and hold it. So hold the legs where they are, take the arms up. Now bring the elbows down and see if you can come a little deeper. If you need to widen your legs, widen them. Hold where you are with the legs, arms up. Elbows come down, maybe you even sink a little deeper. Okay, arms up and take the legs side by side, shake them out. Inhale and exhale. All right, coming back to the feet wider than hip width distance, toes turned out. For sunflower, arms up, inhale, knees over toes, take it down, right arm goes in front, and you lift up, take it down, left arm goes in front, and you lift up. Sunflower down, changing which arm is in front. Just go at a pace that feels good to you. Knees are over toes. So we started with the right arm in front. The next time you go left arm in front, you'll be even. Bring it up and step together, shake things out. Okay, let's find a few breaths here. Inhale and exhale, and move into a little tree balance. So we're going to square the feet, all four corners of the feet. Okay, calming the mind, giving the breath a chance to settle, finding a drishti, a spot that you can gaze at that is not moving. Hands to the hips, right heel up. Turn the right knee out just as much as it's going to go without swinging the hip back. Heel to the left leg, standing nice and tall. And a lot of you are just treers for years, so you might be ready to just bring your foot up and your hands together. That's fine too. Always go with what your practice should look like. And release. Okay, let's do it on the left. Heel up, knee out. So we only want to take the knee out as far as we can without shifting the hips back. Heel or tree. With the foot lifted. And release. All right, so balance seems pretty good tonight, so let's play with the tree a little bit. We're going to come straight into tree. Raise the arms up overhead. And then let our branches sway. Woo. Movement here. If you wind up going off balance, that's okay. The body needs to learn how to do that, right? And bring the palms together. Come back to standing. Let's see how the other side does. Tree. Arms up. And add your little motion here. Palms together. And take it down and shake it out. All right, go ahead and play with your tree. If you had one side that felt really less balanced than the other, stay on that side. Otherwise, I'll tell you when we're halfway done, you'll do 30 seconds on each side or 1 minute on the same side. And you don't have to stay like in one tree for 30 seconds. You just move through it. Okay, ready? And go. Play with your tree. Just looking at my timer here. right, if you're switching sides, go ahead and switch. If you're staying on that one side, continue to work it. I know which of my sides needs work. And bring it back. Plant your feet, come back to center, and either defocus or close your eyes and just let that feeling of balance wash through you. It may not be a perfectly still balance, right? All right, let's come into Warrior Two. So we're taking the legs super wide here. Turn the right toes forward, left toes in at an angle. Bend your right knee over your right ankle. Your left foot is in at an angle. Okay. So can you see how my right hip is hiked? That's your left. If your back hip is hiked, try and even out your pelvis. Look down and make sure your knee is over your ankle and tracking through the center of your right foot. Shoulders over hips, arms out to the side, gazing past your fingertips. Warrior Two. Good. All right, we're going to take it to reverse, so the left arm comes down, the right arm comes up, the lower half of the body stays nice and steady. And bring it up, bend your right elbow, take your forearm to your thigh. We're not leaning into the thigh. Left arm is up, or it could be over by the ear for side angle. Coming back to Warrior Two. Reverse Warrior. Warrior Two. Side angle. And let's keep going. Warrior Two. Reverse. Warrior Two. Side angle. And coming back to Warrior Two, just finding our equal standing in Warrior Two. Gazing calmly past the right fingertips. Bring your hands to your thighs. Index fingers are in your hip creases. Toes are forward. Inhale, exhale, fold right over those hip creases. Go halfway, go longer if you want. Hands on the chair along the spine is good too. Let your hands roll down your legs as much or as little as they want. Take a few breaths here. Bring your hands back to your hips, come halfway up. Pressing through the feet, come up. All right, let's give the legs a little break here, shake it out. And then we come back to wide. Preparing once again for Warrior Two with the left toes forward this time, right toes in at an angle. Pelvis is even, right? And left knee bends, it's in line with the ankle, tracking through the center of your left foot. Shoulders over hips, arms in line with the shoulders. Warrior Two, gazing past your left fingertips. Lower body stays nice and strong. Right hand down, left arm up. Reverse. Back to Warrior Two. And side angle. Arm up or arm over by the ear. And let's come back. Warrior Two. And reverse. Two to side angle. Warrior Two. Last time through, here we go. Reverse. Back to Warrior Two. Side angle. and steady, gazing past your fingertips, hands to hips, all 10 toes forward. Now, if you have space to walk your hands forward, we're going to come into a wide-legged downward facing dog. If not, just come into your forward fold and enjoy that. So go ahead and fold forward, the legs are wide here, and then the hands come to the mat. You might even bend your knees to get the hands to the mat. That's perfectly fine. Walk your hands forward, keep your heels grounded, and we're in a wide-legged downward facing dog. If this isn't working for you, just take some alternative forward fold that feels great to you. Now we're going to start to walk the hands back toward the legs. Bring the hands to the hips. Come halfway up. Make sure that we take a couple of breaths here. And then straighten the spine. Lift tall. And bring the legs back together. Shake them out. So come back to equal standing here. Find your mountain pose. Take a moment to breathe and feel everything that's been going on for you in this practice. All right, and now we're going to just move around, right? Tap into what the body's saying to do. Look around your space. See if there's something that you need for when we come back down to the earth. Maybe it's an eye pillow, or maybe your space is cooled off a lot and you want something to cover up with. Okay, just inhale and exhale as you move around. Oh, make sure the body is happy. Collect whatever you need and come to the top of your mat here. Find your mountain pose. Float the arms up, inhale, exhale, swan dive. Take a half lift, shine your heart forward, sink your hips down, hands down. If you want to go through the vinyasa, plank chaturanga, please do that. Or if you're ready to just go into down dog, go into down dog. Or you might be doing plank chaturanga and some back bend of choice, and then down dog. Eventually we'll all meet. And we can wiggle the hips, bend the knees, come back to center, bring the knees down, and sit off to the side, finding seated mountain pose. Okay, so earlier we did that forward fold with the breath and the hands. We did it with our legs straight and close together. Now that the legs are warmed up in many more directions, we're going to take that forward fold into a couple of different variations. So come into your V-sit. Feet are flexed. Okay. Arms come up. Inhale. Exhale, arms out to the side. Remember now the heels of the hands come together, fingers interlace, index fingers point, and keeping the spine long, take the fingers toward the toes. Inhale up. Exhale, arms down. Inhale back, heels of hands, fingers interlace. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale up. Exhale, arms down. Inhale, back. Interlace, reach. Arms overhead. Okay, and bring your arms down. So now we're going to do it from bound angle, Baddha Konasana, right? Also known as cobbler's pose. So go ahead and bring the soles of your feet to touch and see what happens with your knees. If your knees are way high, bring your heels farther away from your hips. And if they're still high after doing that, Take your feet 6 inches apart. You'll be more in garland pose than cobbler's pose, and that's fine too. Everybody good here? Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms out. Take it back, heels of hands touch, fingers interlace. Reach past the toes with a long spine. Exhale. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms out. Take it back. Reach. Arms up. And one more time, arms out. Inhale back. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale up. Bring your arms down. Now put one hand under each knee. Help your knees up. Bring your legs back to straight and give them a nice little shake. We will be heading down to the earth now. Okay, so let's go ahead and roll down. Just feel the earth underneath you. Feel your body connecting with the earth. All right, go ahead and take your right knee in. Hold the shin or the hamstring with your right hand. Take your left arm out to the side and let that right knee just move out to the side and back. Little hip release here. All right, and then cross your right thigh over your left thigh. Take your right arm out by your side. Bring your left hand outside your right thigh. And just let your legs come over to the left as you turn your gaze to the right. And come back to center, release. Bring your right foot down. Take your left leg in. Hold on to your shin or your hamstring. Right arm is out to the side. And your left leg opens out to the left and back to center. And coming to center, cross your left leg over your right. Your right hand is outside your left leg. Left arm is out to the side. And just take a nice little twist here. And come back to center. Release 2 feet to the mat. Take your right leg up. Point and flex your foot. Circle the ankle one direction and the other. Release, left leg up, left foot up, point and flex. Circle one direction and the other. Give yourself, first take the arms and legs nice and long. Arms overhead, legs forward, inhale, and as you exhale, draw your knees in, Apanasana here. And just rock side to side. Once again, you could be holding your shins, or you could be holding your hamstrings. Your knees might have something to say about that, what's preferable to them. All right, let's come back to center here. Put your hands on your knees. Press the knees away, to the right, in, and to the left. We're making little circles here. And the next time your knees are in toward your chest, hold here. Take your knees away to the left, in, and to the right. So now we're making circles in the other direction, just a nice little spinal massage here. And come back to center, release everything, feet to the mat, fingers open and close, they wiggle. Wrists rotate one direction and the other, hands down, head goes side to side. Seeing if there's any tension in the neck to release. coming back to center now. Just scan your body, see if any kind of movement or realignment is good for you to find your final relaxation position here. Maybe you're covering up. Maybe your knees are bent. Maybe the legs are straight. Find a nice comfortable place where you can be. And then inhale through the nose. Slowly exhale as you let your body melt onto the earth. Moving into final relaxation. Slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your space. Invite a deeper breath. Bring movement back to your body. Wiggle fingers and toes. And as you inhale, stretch your arms long overhead. Stretch your legs long. Exhale, draw your knees in, give yourself a hug. Find your way over to a side. And coming up to a nice easy seat as you're ready. And as you turn your gaze to your own good heart and your bright spirit, thank and honor yourself for your practice, and we thank and honor each other for sharing this time. Namaste.